all of my sisters, March is the birthday month. So, yes, this is my week. I cannot believe it, but I am turning 55. Can you guys believe it? 55 years old. I have no idea how I'm 55. I don't feel 55. I feel amazing. But I will tell you, when you turn 55, that's kind of a wake up like 55. That's halfway to 110, right? So, a lot of things going through my mind. And what do I want for my birthday? Well, when you're 55, it's probably a different list than it is when you're 25. It's probably a different list than it is when you're 35. Definitely different than when I was 45. It's crazy because when you hit these milestones, you're like, wow, I'm 30. I mean, I can remember being like, I'm not a teen, I'm in my 20s. Then I can remember like 30, like now I'm like an adult, right? And then 40 came, and it's funny, I'll never forget my 40th birthday. My little nephew Kason was 3 weeks old, and that was 15 years ago. So he's a freshman now. And I had 8 or 9 nieces and nephews that were like 3 weeks old up to like 9 years old. And I remember having my 40th birthday slumber party with all of them coming to stay with me. I was just so excited to be an aunt. I was Aunt Barbie, and it was such an amazing feeling to have all these little ones. And they just loved me. And no matter what I did, like they just wanted to be with Aunt Barbie. And I remember that was also a season where my kids were approaching high school. And so, as they were getting older, I was like, I don't have babies anymore. And I remember saying to Dave, like, should we have 2 or 3 more real quick? And Dave was like, I think we're good. But 40 was an incredible decade. I learned a lot of life lessons. It was a lot of growth, a lot of experiences that I wouldn't want to go back to, right? So like thank God I'm in my 50s, because the 40s you're wise. Like you really start to like have your wake up call, and you got the whole perimenopause thing going on, and then 50 hits and you're like, wow, perimenopause was nothing. Like what in the heck is this, right? Because when you hit 50, everything, if you're a woman and you hit 50, everything changes. And I will just tell you, at 55, I feel so good. I feel so intentional. I feel so much wisdom from experience. You know what you want and you know what you don't want. And you've made the money, you've had the goals, you've lost the money, you've overcome things. Like you've probably had some grief in your life. I'm definitely through the whole kids going from high school to being adults, which is way harder than any chapter of raising kids. I'm just going to say, if you're whining about, oh, your toddler's running around and you don't have any sleep, and it's so hard because they're teenagers, just do a lot of reading and growing and praying, because it's completely different helping someone go into adulthood. And that was a whole chapter. But now, 55, right? Grandkids are my life. And we have a new grandbaby coming in May. Chance blessed us with 4 beautiful children, and 2 of them are here with us right now. And I want to tell you guys, I think about a birthday coming in, and it's Friday. It's on Friday the 13th, so probably shouldn't even celebrate that day. But I'm just grateful that I lived to be 55. I'm grateful that I have my health at 55. I'm grateful for all the hardships and all of the poor decisions that I made, that I learned from the relationships that I'll either use them as a testimony or I'll use them as an example, right? And if you're 55, you can probably relate to this. You start to think to yourself, like, what will my legacy be? A lot of people live to be 65. A lot of people don't. A lot of people live to be 70, and a lot of people don't. I lost my grandparents before they were 70 and lost Dave's mom at 73. So you think about it. If you're 55 and you've lost a parent or a grandparent or whatever your belief system has programmed because of the evidence that you have seen, here's what's going to happen for you. You're going to either start to be like, well, it's too late for me. It's the end of my life. Or you're going to say, I got 15, 20 years left. Let's freaking go. Like, let's make impact. Let's make a difference. And, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. If I, at this point in my life, thought, let's live like we're dying, what would I do? And some of you aren't even thinking like that. You're like, I got the rest of my life. I'm young. Nobody knows, right? So today, what I want to share with you is my passion project, if I could. And if it hits you and you want to be a part of it, I would love to work with you. And if you don't, maybe you know somebody that this would impact. I would love to be able to share my screen. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm going to try on my Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and all the pages. I know Instagram won't let me share the screen to this, but this past month has been really huge for me, and a dream that I had clear back 2006 when I wrote my book. I don't know how many of you know, I wrote a book called No Guts, No Story. And all the proceeds of the book went to a foundation called Invisible Angels. That is where I really started trying to reach young girls. And this was at a time in my life where I was raising young girls. So I think I was aware of what was happening in schools. Back then, young kids were cutting themselves. There was a lot of it was a lot less scary than it is today. There wasn't fentanyl. There wasn't sex sites that you could, go make money. There wasn't online gambling. There wasn't so much social media. It was a lot different in 2006, not as scary as it is today. I don't think trafficking was as big of a thing as it is today. I don't think people were so low vibrational. I believe that when I first started Invisible Angels, I was just trying to boost the confidence of a young girl. I really just wanted to reach schools, and I wanted to bring speakers in to try and get to them at the age when I first remember hurting, when I was 12. And that's a very vulnerable age for a young girl or boy, because for me, I made a lot of decisions at age 12 to feel loved. I was longing to feel loved. Can any of you guys relate? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. If you have grandkids, this might scare the crap out of you. But, age 12, kids are really starting to want to fit in. They're wondering, am I in the popular group or not? Am I going to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or not? Am I dressing like the in crowd? Are my parents on the right side of the tracks or the wrong side of the tracks? They're comparing, it's where it all starts. This kid has two parents. I only have one. Why do I live with my grandma all the time? There were a lot of crazy thoughts going through my head at age 12. But at age 21, then the real pressure is on, right? 18 to 21, everyone's getting married. Everyone's having babies. Some people are going to college. Some people are not going to college. Let me just say this so loud and clear. If you're a college kid age and you're watching this, do what you want to do. And the parents might get really mad at me right now, but let me preface this. My kids went to college. Callie was a 4.0 student going into med school. Spent the money, did the time. K-State cheer for 4 years. Straight A's, 4.0. Today, her 6- and 7-figure income has zero to do with kinesiology in medical school. But she still was wildly successful, because when there came a time to pivot, she said, Mom and Dad, would you be upset if I didn't pursue my dreams as a doctor? Now, I want to tell you something. We're different than most parents. Had you just spent 4 years on a college degree for your child, you might have freaked the you know what out had they changed their mind. I want my kids to be happy. I want them to pursue their dreams. And I never want them to feel guilt or shame or blame or anything low vibrational. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. When I was 40, they were babies. I'm 55. They're graduating. They have all the pressure of sports, being an athlete, being a dancer, being a cheerleader, going to college or not going to college. And let me just tell you, that is one of the hardest ages that you're ever going to survive. As an 18-year-old, when everyone wants to know, what are you going to do now? Here's what I would encourage an 18-year-old to do. Write down everything that you love to do, everything that you would do and lose yourself in it. Things that make you happy, things that you're going to enjoy, things that are your gifts. Had someone asked me that when I was 18, I just would have went to school to be a speaker, right? But if you're 18 and you're feeling the pressure of what should I do with my life, put your blinders on. And a lot of people are going to have free advice. You should follow your dreams, your goals. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, because my brothers and sisters, not one of them have a college education. Not one. Every single one of them makes 6 figures a year. Do you know what they do? Something they love. They found a way to take their talents, their gifts, what they're good at. And do you know what they had? They had a work ethic and a really big dream. So if you know that you want to make money, that's a good thing. But don't always make every decision in your life based on money. Because I've had a lot of money and been incredibly miserable. And I've had other times where I had no money and I was so full of joy. I will tell you, when I ran away with Dave Pitcock in 1992, and we were in Cody, Wyoming, in a little tiny white cabin at the foot of Yellowstone entrance. There was South Fork Road and there was North Fork Road. We lived at 601 South Fork Road. I really want to go there. Like, that would be a fun trip. Everybody was like, let's go for your birthday, but it's freezing freaking cold right there right now. It doesn't get warm until summer. But we were happy. I mean, we were at the food pantry and Dave had a broken leg and I had to sell my horse just to pay for rent. I lost my car that I had remodeled all through high school because I couldn't afford to keep it. But I want to tell you guys something. Every day of our life, Dave was reading the Bible to me. We were praying. Our moms were newly divorced with broken hearts. Our dads were on a new journey of their midlife crisis. And we had each other and we had the Lord. That's all we had. And we were so happy. My mom said we were just living on love, just living on love. But you know, we all need to be loved. That is a need that we all have. We need to be loved. We need to be valued. We need someone telling us, you're amazing. I'm proud of you. I love you. And if you don't have that in your life, let me just say this, read my lips. You are amazing. You are created by a miracle worker. We are all from the same bloodline. It's championship bloodline. It doesn't matter about your mom and dad. You are destined for greatness. And whatever you are going through is conditioning you to be great. Have you guys ever seen the movie Ghost, where Demi Moore has the clay? And I've never seen anyone so beautiful when they cry. And I've never seen anyone just, it's satisfying to just watch her with that clay on the pottery wheel, right? But she's trying to create a masterpiece. And I want you to think about this. That masterpiece doesn't start out as a masterpiece. They try to sculpt the clay and make this beautiful sculpture, and it doesn't work. and they take it off the wheel and they knead it and they push it and they pressure it and they add water to it and they flatten it out and they roll it up and they throw it and they knead it. And that's us, right? That's God getting out all the pebbles, all the air bubbles, all the flaws, all the things. We have to be broken down in order to be molded to be great. And this is just life. This is just life. It's not a label on you. It doesn't mean you're destined for failure. It doesn't mean you can't change your mind. If you go through a divorce, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. If you got pregnant before you were married, like I did, it doesn't mean that you're going to hell. Like, there's so many labels that every single young person is so afraid of. And a college degree is just some letters behind your name. I'm not discouraging you from going to college, but when I decided to really step into my purpose, I got some business cards made because this is before internet. And behind my name was DMN, because all of my peers were doctors, chiropractors, holistic medicine people, like multimillionaires. They owned hotels. And Dave and I were in this direct sales company, and I had nothing. I was a beautician. He was a bull rider. So I started this team called the Mom Team. And behind my name said M.O.M. Because honestly, that's the greatest accomplishment I've ever had in my life. I birthed 3 of the most beautiful humans inside and out. They're amazing. I don't even know how I'm their mom. I'm so proud of them, each of them. And they all have their own strengths and their own weaknesses. But do you know what I see? I see pottery on a wheel. I see a masterpiece being created. I have to surrender and have patience and know that from the day they were born, God knew every hair in their head, just like he knows yours. He knew every path they would cross, every downfall they would have, and he would be there to help create this masterpiece. Now, I had them for 18 years. They were never mine. They're his. He has a plan for their life, for eternity. I got to be their mom. I get to be the grandma to their children, but they are their own person. And for me to try to have any control over that at 55, here's what I know: bless and release and surrender that. Moral of my story: there's been a lot of things happen in 55 years. And I will tell you this: the letters behind my name on that final business card was DMN. It don't mean nothing. It might look significant. It don't mean nothing. Here's why I would say go to school. You long to be a doctor and you want to take care of people for the rest of your life. You long to be a teacher and you want to be a coach. You want to get a trade because you think, I'm good at engineering, or I love to bake, or I want to be a scientist or work for NASA or whatever. If that's your jam, go get the degree, go do it, make the money, love your life. But don't try to fit yourself into a mold that's not you. Because there was a lot of years that I watched all of my classmates in their sororities, at K-State, at KU. I was nothing. I was at home helping my mom raise 4 siblings. We had no money. We barely had food. She worked nights taking care of elderly people just so she could make money instead of sleep. Because if she fell asleep there and they were asleep, she could still make money. I watched her work her fingers to the bone, living in a single wide trailer, and I watched firsthand what it takes to make it. And there are a lot of people right now doing everything they can just to survive. And I'm going to tell you what it takes to make it. You got to find something that you love to do. And if you serve other people and you bring value to the marketplace, the money will chase you down. It will literally chase you down. Be a good human, be authentic, and step into what it is that you love. So here I am, 55 years old, stepping into what I really love. And what would I do for free every single day, even if I never got paid? what do you think I would do every single day and love my life even if I never got paid? Any of you that know me know I love helping people. I love helping people dream. I love helping people not give up. I love helping people feel better. I love helping people make money. A lot of people don't care about making money, but I have mastered this one because money is just paper. Money is like this important, right? It's just paper. And it flows into some people's hands and it flows out of people's hands. And some people, they hoard it up and it does nothing. It just sits there. Some people, they give it away and it comes back 10x. And some people, they put it in things that can grow very quickly. And some people are so afraid of losing it that they never hang on to it because they give it so much energy. I'm going to tell you, I am not driven by money. I don't usually even know what the check is going to be, and I don't usually know what the balance is. I just make sure there's enough. Here's what makes me tick. At the end of my life, and there is this eulogy, these people will say, your mom had an amazing positive impact on my life. Your grandma had an incredible positive impact on my life. Whether it was a conversation, a book, a training, a product, a dream building session, or just being completely authentic, I want you to know that you are enough, exactly how you are right now, and that you are valued, and that you are loved, and that you do matter. So that brings me to this birthday dream. This past month, our family reinstated Invisible Angels as a 501c3. The day we got home from our convention, Chance and I were on a podcast with Kevin Hines, and he has millions of followers in the suicide awareness arena. Many of you don't know, but my son Chance had a real battle, crazy battle with mental health. D1 athlete, incredibly successful, pretty popular kid in high school, played all the positions on the football field, state champion in wrestling, always went to state track unless he switched off and did baseball a year. Then they went to state baseball. Just an incredible athlete. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how popular you are. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. Mental health is brain health. Trauma, maybe concussions, maybe something that happens in school and college, maybe a breakup, maybe something with a child. There are a lot of things that cause us to feel a certain way. And I want to tell you something right now. If you're feeling grief, or you're feeling anxiety, or you're feeling depression, or you're feeling fear, it doesn't mean that you have a mental illness. A lot of people with mental illness don't feel anything. A lot of people who I would really worry about, they wish they could feel. They have apathy, the lowest vibration above death, where they just don't give a shit anymore. And there's so many people this way. They're like, screw it. I give up. I don't even care anymore. And those are the people that I really want to reach, because in our family, suicide in our family with my dad's only brother when I was in kindergarten, suicide in our family with Dave's only brother when my kids were kindergarten and first grade and 3 years old. And then fast forwarding, most of you know our story, everything that I have been through, whether it was Chance or Brooklyn. And, you know, Callie talks about this a lot. People need therapy. People need to talk to someone. It's not a sign of weakness to say, I need help. It's actually a sign of strength, because you recognize you're better than that. Why would you stay feeling that way? You got to feel through it, but you don't have to turn to a substance, alcohol, something outrageous to be okay. There's a community there that when you feel alone, someone is there. So many of you know our story and the battles with addiction and recovery. Some of you have no idea. I've never been an addict, but I've loved a lot of them. And I will tell you this, it's a family disease. Let's just say that out loud. It is not a choice. If you think that you are wrong, I have studied this a lot. It is a disease. And that addict that you blame and shame and get angry with and hate, they are sick. And if they had cancer, you would love them and support them. Some of you are going to argue with me. I'm going to tell you, you have your right to your own opinion, but you also have the right to be wrong. That addict is sick. And you would have a fundraiser and pray for them if they had cancer. And my only pain in my life has been addiction and suicide or cancer. It's took every person that I have loved. And if you're loving someone right now that is in addiction, it is as hard as death, because when someone dies, you grieve. When someone's an addict, you grieve every day the life that could be that's not. And I am going to be the whistleblower on this. These people need help. Someone figures out that they have a problem. They have cancer, take them to the doctor, get the chemo, you have the fundraiser, you got the whole prayer group, everyone's coming together. Like when Dave's mom had cancer, we had a card shower and 500 people sent a card. People drove 6 or 7 hours. You have someone in your life that's an addict. If they're good, everyone loves them. If they're struggling, nobody knows what to do. And it is the same. It is a disease. And so I have lived this battle for 10 years of my life, and I am going to make a difference in such a ginormous way. It starts with trauma. It's not what's wrong with you. The real question is what happened to you and what are you trying to numb? What happened to you that you can't feel okay? So you keep going back to whatever it is that makes you feel okay. And the first thing we did was create a Facebook group that is nothing to do with my company, nothing to do with a product, nothing to do with the 501c3. It's just a Facebook group of people smarter than me that have been through it, that do know what to do, that are supportive. They have been clean for multiple years. And it's really simple. Tag, remember this, tag the addiction group. A man that's running that Facebook group for me, his sister burned to death 2 years ago. He's lost so many people, obviously drugs, overdose, heroin, fentanyl. He's hit the streets in the most dangerous parts of the world to try and reach the people on the streets and be supportive. And for my birthday, I am putting together care packages, and there will be people on the streets, and we will be reaching out to them, whether it's blankets, the nutrition that they need, the hand warmers. Like those people, had my daughter Brooklyn not had a family that loved her, she would be one of them on the streets. And she says that all the time. Mom, what if I hadn't had a family that loved me? I would be one of them. It's why I don't judge. It's why I always support them, whether it's a bottle of water, whether it's a blanket. The other day, I did a $50 gas card. You don't have to just hand them money if you're wondering what they're going to do with it. But these people are sick, and a lot of them don't know where to go. Now, the nonprofit, I'm going to share a video on my screen here if I can. I am so excited about this. And on my birthday, all I want is people to support this. The money that we raise and the things that we're going to do, I will share the videos and everything. Like it's going to be a ripple effect all over the world. And the name of it is Invisible Angels. Invisible Angels was started probably 20 years ago with Dave's mom and I when I was speaking in elementary schools, loving my life, just sharing my story with young girls My kids weren't even graduated yet. I had no idea what I was about to endure. Oh my goodness. If I had known then all the things I would have to go through in the next 10 years, 20 years. I need to write a new book. I will donate all the proceeds of it to this, but I'm going to show you a quick video and hopefully it'll play on my StreamYard here. This is a website and I'm going to drop the domain in here. It is invisibleangels.foundation. Don't go .com, don't go .org. I know there are other sites that are for trafficking. It is invisibleangels.foundation. And this tab that I am going to play, if it will let me, and the audio, it's asking me if I want to allow it or not. I don't know if it's going to do it or not, but Chrome tab. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to let me, guys. I'm trying. Let me move to present or invite, share the screen, screen sharing, and now it's not going to work. Okay, guys, there it is. Yes, it is going to work. Okay. Can you guys see this now? If StreamYard is sharing a window, and here is the window. Hopefully you guys see this website. Drop in the comments and let me know if you're on Facebook, if you see the website. And the way that you get involved could be you want to be a part of donating your time. Mental health is not one issue, it's many, and they're all connected. And what we really address is the common root: disconnection, suicide awareness and prevention, addiction and substance use, recovery and accountability, depression and anxiety, loneliness and isolation. Let me take my Instagram and flip it here, and I think I can just show you guys. I think I can just flip my screen. Here we go. There we go. So invisibleangels.foundation, screenshot that. And mental health does matter. It saves people's lives. And the disconnection, getting people in a community, we are going to have resources and volunteers in so many amazing areas. So I'm going to play for you a video. I am so very excited about this. Hopefully you can see that video. So excited about this. And now what I want to do is go back to we'll take off presenting the screen and we'll just go back to me. I don't know if you guys could see that. Oh my goodness, no sound, no volume. So what you'll have to do is go to invisibleangels.foundation. So I'm going to drop that here in the comments. And if you know someone that could benefit, you can share that with them. Now, there are a lot of people that are offering, they're saying like, I am a counselor, I am a teacher, I am a preacher, I am a recovering addict, I have a, some of them say I have a addiction recovery support Zoom. Anything that you want to do to be able to support in any way is greatly appreciated. And so that's what I want for my birthday. I want to build this community of invisible angels to where, just like the other day when Chance and I did the interview with Kevin Hines, and that is live on the Kevin Hines podcast. I'll drop that in here as well. At the end of it, I was like, Chance, we just need to do that every day. Like, we just need to do that every day. It's all I could think about. Last week on Wednesday was Teen Mental Health Day. I did a live stream with Coach Brian and Susie. Some of you know Susie Klein-White. She helps young girls in the inner city with art. And today I was listening to The Power of Now, a book, and it said, do you know that the only time our minds are actually still is when we're creating and doing art? And it's so crazy because my daughter, Brooklyn, obviously she's on a journey of healing, and everywhere I look, she's either cooking, baking, painting. She's got epoxy on a piece of wood, driftwood. And it's crazy because that brings her so much happiness. And it all clicked for me today. Like, that's a way when your mind is completely quiet. When you're creating, your mind is quiet. A lot of people think they can control their mind, but they can't. The mind controls you, and the mind and the gut is everything. If I could help you or someone that you love to have brain health and to have gut health, a lot of the issues that people think they have would probably improve. But people don't. They think they have to go get medicated, go get drunk, go smoke some weed, go put their fist through a door. It's crazy, but I've learned a lot. And I guess the moral of the story is, at 55 years old, I want to share with you what I've learned, and I want to make a ripple effect of impact. I want people who are struggling. I have had people that I love say, I know I need to go get help, but I don't want to cost you 30 grand. I know I need to go get help, but what's going to happen to the business? What's going to happen to the kids? What's going to happen to my relationship? What, am I just supposed to leave and go do this? I mean, I was sitting with a senator and a congressman from Florida at a networking event 2 years ago. We took a picture together. I'm not really into politics. I'm not going to name drop. I don't want to talk about politics at all. I do not have time for that. But that's his job, right? He goes and he's an advocate in his state. But one thing that he said to me that I thought was so brilliant, he said, Florida is the first state to pass a law that if you need mental help, it doesn't matter if you are a chief of police, a chief of the fire department, the president of some big corporation, or the principal of a school. If you raise your hand and say, I need mental health, they cannot fire you. They cannot deduct your pay. You have to have the leave time, and you just get help. And I was like, you are brilliant, right? Because what we sometimes don't understand is that trauma is a real thing, and that our mind and the thoughts that we have and the things that we go through send a signal to our entire body and all of our organs that make us sick. And dis-ease in the body, whatever someone has been through, causes every bit of disease. And the acid that it creates makes the little disease spread everywhere. So after losing my incredible mother-in-law, which was so devastating at such a young age, I thought, really made me wake up. Help people lower their stress. Help people normalize the trauma. Help people forgive themselves and help their family understand. Like, life is too short for you to be pissed at someone in your family about a certain thing that they did or a certain way that they made you feel. Because I want to tell you something. They probably hate themselves as much as you hate them. Let's be kind. Let's be kind and create a ripple effect with open arms that's like Jesus and bubble wrap, right? Just grabbing all of these people and saying, come over here. Invisible Angels is not just about addiction. It's not just about suicide. It's not just about mental health. To me, when I think of a foster child, I think of Invisible Angels. When I think of a battered woman in a shelter somewhere, I think of Invisible Angels. When I think of a mom that can't sleep at night, that's broken, that has no idea what to do to change the course for her children, I think of Invisible Angels. When I think of the person that is on fentanyl and they are so sick if they don't have it, and people have completely cut them out of their life because they did whatever they did to survive, I think to myself, if they're still here and we can love them, there's a chance. If we don't, there's only two ways out. And one of them, they're not going to be here. I want to raise awareness. I want to raise education. I want to raise love. I want to raise donations. I want to be able to create recovery centers where your family doesn't have to be in debt for life for you to get well. I want to create volunteers that are there, that when you have someone that says, I need help, you don't have to wait for a bed. You don't have to wait for analysis. You don't have to wait to be referred. And then you got to wait for 3 weeks for the specialist. And then there's not a bed. You guys, people are dying every single day. I am so angry about this because the system is broken. The system is broken. And if you're waiting on the government to fix it, more people are going to be dying because the government can do anything they can, but they can't do it fast enough to fix this. You can make a difference. And the way we're going to make a difference with Invisible Angels is going to be epic. It's not going to be normal like everybody else is trying to do, right? It's not going to be about healthcare. It's not going to be about your insurance. It's not going to be about what you can afford or how low your income is, if you're going to get the benefits or not. It's going to be for everyone because in my mind, everyone matters. And we are going to be that Invisible Angels that's going to create a little tiny ripple in the pond. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But it is going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a ton of money. Right now, I don't even have a secretary. I don't even have a treasurer. I don't even have someone that's the chairman of the board. We have an army of people saying, I want to raise my hand. I want to help. This is what I can do. And so people are going to the website and they're emailing in. This is what I can offer. This is what I could do. This is what I want to give. If you want to make a donation, it's completely tax deductible. And this is going to be massive. So that's what I want for my birthday. I have been waiting every year. They say, wait till the company's bigger, then you can fund it. Wait till you're not so busy, then you can start it. Wait till we have more volunteers, then we can do it. You guys, people are dying every single day. I'm not waiting. I have no idea how big this is going to get, but I just keep thinking, stand back, baby, because it's going to be huge. And I do know this. God doesn't just call the equipped. He always equips the ones that he calls. And this is my calling. It is my jam. I can get on Zooms and I can make money and run a company all day long. But man, when you put me on a podcast or you sit me at a table with someone that's struggling with addiction, depression, grief, whatever it is, I can lose myself with this child, with this parent, with this family, because I've lived it. I've literally lived it and it sucks, but there is hope, right? And that's what I want to be, the person that brings hope. So that's all I want for my birthday. Go to invisibleangels.foundation. You can either be a volunteer, you can join one of the Facebook groups, you can say that you want to contribute, you can give money. Maybe you have an event that you want to host and we support the people in that area. We have an event in Ohio next month, actually, for our company. And I've been looking there to see how I can get to the streets. It's one of the roughest places. And there's so many people there that are struggling, but there are a lot of nonprofits that have stepped up that said, we want to make a difference. So I'm going to find a way that I can give and contribute. And if you feel it in your heart, let's do this together. So that's all I got for you today. No guts, no story. It's happy birthday to me on Friday. Don't send me flowers. Don't send me presents. Don't send me a gift. Don't worry about hosting me a party. Just lock arms and let's make impact. It's going to be amazing. Have a good day, everyone.